This is the story of Stuart Sharp, who late one night dreamt an entire symphony that wouldn't leave him.
Before this amazing dream, my life was pretty standard. I left school without any qualifications at all. I worked my way up to become a cook in a pub. I'd already by then got married and had a daughter, Emma. Everything was just going quite normally until the day of Ben's death. My son died in traumatic circumstances. My wife nearly died at the same time. So we went from a very happy night to one the next morning of total devastation. On the night of the funeral, it was fraught with all sorts of strange things going through my head, so I would lie down and hope I could just rest a little while. And then I heard in the distance this angelic music, angels singing. I could actually walk into the orchestra and watch what each instrument was doing. And the melody was absolutely beautiful. And the next day it came back again, and it never stopped, day after day, 7 days a week. It kept appearing in my mind at the strangest times. And I'm not a musician, I know nothing about music. I wanted to just get on with my life, and it wouldn't let me. And I tried to drown it out with alcohol. That didn't work. I never ever thought for 1 minute it was any form of psychosis. But many other people did. They thought I needed certainly some psychiatric treatment. Most people thought I was schizophrenic. And I knew if I told many more people that I would almost certainly be sectioned. So I knew that one day I would have to find a way of going on a journey to get this music out of my head and record it. But it took a couple of years to have the courage to tell my wife and my family that I was going to go to London to record this music. But eventually I did go on that journey, and it caused me to be living on the streets of London, homeless for 5 years, living in squats. My wife divorcing me, marrying somebody else. I was disconnected from my daughters, which was a disaster for me. And I thought, I'm going to get this done as quickly as possible. I'll get it done next year. And then next year came and it wasn't. I didn't have any clue that it would take me 30 years. One day, on the street, I met a jazz musician by the name of Anthony Wade. He became my good Samaritan, and he tried to help me bring the music out of my head onto a piano. So it had to be note by note. And quite often, when I couldn't get him to understand what I wanted, I would put my head next to his and say, "Can't you hear? Can't you hear it?" It was incredibly difficult. And eventually, we got to the day of the recording. And when the baton came down and the first instrument started to play, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And I wasn't quite sure whether I was back in the dream. It was wonderful. In my mind, the journey has been successful. But in reality, for my family, it was not like that at all. All in all, we've come full circle, and they do understand now. The music is a great comfort to me because I've been on my own for a very long time. So it's my friend. If ever I'm feeling lonely or down or whatever, I just play the music.
The voice of Stuart Sharp, accompanied by his Angeli Symphony. The fact that his brain gave him that music to try and get through what must have been the hardest possible thing, but that in turn it led him down another difficult road. And it makes sense to me that music is at once this transcendent, beautiful thing and a way of articulating our most unbearable experiences.